Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. Today we're going to be starting up a new series on the mounts on the hand. We're going to look at what they mean and how you can use them to make better interpretations through palmistry. So the first question to answer, of course, is what is a mount? A mount is basically an area of the hand that rules or is governed by a particular planet. So think of the mount of Jupiter as just jargon for the area that Jupiter rules or governs, and the mount of Mercury is also just the area that Mercury exhibits its energy on. And it's also important to note at this point that the ancient texts in Indian palmistry didn't actually connect planets to the hands here, at least not in the way of the mounts. That was an interpretation that came in a few centuries later. So what we're talking about is the mount of Jupiter, particularly in today's video. That wasn't there in the ancient text. In the ancient text, especially the Samudrika Shastra, the mount of Jupiter was actually called the father's mount. And the reason that was connected to Jupiter later on is because Jupiter rules your father. So it's sort of like a reverse engineered connection of the ancient text into the olden palmistry, if you will, and putting the two of those together to call it the mount of Jupiter. Now, having said that, let's actually have a look at where the mount of Jupiter is. It's underneath the index finger. And in order to understand this area, you've got to ask the question, what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter is all about your wisdom. It gives you knowledge, but it also gives you religious knowledge, and therefore it's very spiritual leaning as well. Jupiter governs your fathers and also your teachers, so it's the people that give you religious or spiritual teaching in life. Because of that, Jupiter also rules your school and higher education. And generally speaking, Jupiter creates expansion and it brings opportunities everywhere it goes. So if you look in this area underneath your index finger, you need to be looking for auspicious signs here. So for example, if you have a star symbol, well, a star is an amplification of energy. So a star on the mount of Jupiter will amplify the energy of Jupiter. And if Jupiter is about wisdom, for example, then this will make you extra wise. Because Jupiter is also connected to your father, then this is a lucky sign for your father to have. The other prominent signs that can come up over here, of course, are the window, the circle, the swastika. There's a whole range of symbols, and if you do want to learn about that, I've got videos on different Indian palmistry symbols on my channel page, so check that out. The other thing we can say is if this mount is raised, in other words, if the skin underneath this area is puffy, then we call that a raised Jupiterian mount. And what that will do is it'll further amplify the energy of Jupiter. On the other hand, if this mount is flat, then that's going to diminish the energy of Jupiter. So you'll still get the same results if you have auspicious signs here, but they just won't be as strong as they otherwise would be if this mount were raised. Alright guys, that's my introduction to the mount of Jupiter. We are going to be making more videos on all the other mounts, but at this stage I just want to keep this very brief and very simple and easy to understand, because there is a lot of jargon out there about the mounts. This is the very basics that you guys need to know in order to start using this information. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys.